Zoman. Most people know me as Izon. I'll be the one moderating this session. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, great meeting you as well.
Okay, so yeah, we live. Okay, I bet we are. Seems we are. So um, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Friday session of the GDSC Career Week, which will be the second to our final session for the Career Week. So today we will be having a talk with Mrs. Dunson here right now, and our talk would be on. Sorry, give me a sec. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I said, is there anything you would like to say to the audience before we
We
before we
couldn't.
officially begin?
If you have been saying anything before now, I'm not sure we got anything you said.
Wow, that's all.
Yeah,
Okay,
at all.
so let me start once again. So I said, good evening, everyone. My name is Onotiose Izome. Most of you know me as Izon, and I'll be moderating this session this evening. And this session be a talk led by Dunsin, which is hello. Can you still hear? Did I call out of
Yeah,
the? Oh,
yeah, you
okay,
did. I guess your network is bad. We couldn't
okay.
hear you.
Give
You
me.
just went off.
All right. Give me a moment. So can you hear me now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. All right. So so let me begin once again. I said good evening everyone and welcome to today's session, the Friday session of GDSC's Career Week this evening, which is developing your career through interpersonal skills. And this talk will be led by Mrs. Mrs. Dunson. And yeah, I hope we benefit a lot from this program. So before we begin, I would like to give us a brief background into who Oluwa Dunsin is. Oluwadunsin is a dynamic, results driven, and proactive professional who excels in agile methodologies, project management, and stakeholder collaboration. With a proven track record as a Scrum Master, he has led cross functional teams to develop high quality software solutions. Her skills include strategic planning, software execution, and promoting transparency through agile practices. She possesses strong leadership, communication, and problem solving abilities. She's a motivator who demonstrates adaptability and critical thinking in overcoming unforeseen challenges. Wow, this is a lot. So I already know we're going to get much value out of our talk. A very large amount of high quality information. Okay, so just a little bit more
Yeah.
to add before we continue. She is deliberate about replicating her success story in others. She believes in the transformative power of tech, teaching and encouraging more people to utilize it to achieve personal and collective goals. In 2023, she successfully trained over 100 individuals in transitioning to various programs, including Scrum Master, Software Tester, and Software Developer. Wow. Okay. Okay. Wow. Thank you so much for being here, Dunsin. You have anything you'd like to say to the audience this evening?
Yeah, I do. Thank you so much,
Yeah. Yeah.
Kizo. I hope I didn't murder your name.
Yeah. You did great.
Um, Please, I'm not married. I'm happily single. Because I think you've said Mrs. Johnson like two times now. Nah, nah, nah.
Oh,
I'm not
I
married.
apologize. I apologize.
I'm happily single. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction. I appreciate it.
All right. So I guess with that wrapped up, I welcome you all once again to the Friday session on GDS's Career Week, developing your career through interpersonal skills. So the stage is yours, Dunsin.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Hiza. It's good to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to, like minds. My name is Olua Jensen. Like you rightly said, I work as an Agile project manager. But anyways, today is not about me. It's about soft skills. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen in a minute. Please do let me know when you can see my screen. Um, Yeah, my screen should be live now.
Yes, I can see. So I'm sure we all can see your screen.
Oh, all right, good. All right, so today our conversation is going to be all about soft skill for tech professionals. We've had a couple of people refer to it as interpersonal skills. Whatever name you want to give it, it's all the same thing, right? Um, so I think Isa already did a great job, introducing me. So I'll just go straight into my slides. All right. So soft skills, soft skill, interpersonal skill. I'm so sure a couple of us here on the call would have had that from maybe our lecturers, our colleagues or classmates, or even senior colleagues. Oh, you need to develop your soft skill. Oh, I need to work on my soft skill. Oh, I need to improve on my soft skill. What exactly is soft skill all about? Is soft skill just a buzzword? Right. So, soft skills are non technical skills that relate to how you work and interact with others. Again, soft skills are non technical skills that relate to how you work and interact with others. So, there's nothing technical about soft skill, even though there's a skill behind the soft, and the same as though it's, some, some things you have to do with your hands and all of that. No, it's just everything that has to do with how you work as a person and how you interact with couple of others. In today's highly competitive and fast-paced world, technical skills are no longer enough to succeed in the workplace. I'm pretty sure quite a lot of us here want to do well. We have career projections, or where I want to be in the next 5 years, where I want to be in the next 10 years, or even in the next 1 year or two, right? We all have career projections. But do you know that your technical know-how or your technical skills are not enough to get you there? There is a need for you or for us as individuals, right? Because I count myself as Gen Z, right? To improve our soft skill, right? The way you talk to people, the way you carry yourself, right? If you're not self-aware, right, there's a way you can put yourself where nobody is necessarily going to see the relevance in you. Nobody is necessarily going to see the value that you carry, right? Being self-aware. All right. So soft skill are, they're a ball of things. It's not just one skill, right? If you have empathy and you're not a great communicator, you're already lacking behind. If you have organization, you need to know how to organize yourself. If you have communication, you need to know how to communicate. And these things are not necessarily, they're not technical skills in itself, right? Employers are increasingly looking for candidates who possess strong set of soft skills, right? So it's not enough that you write the best of codes. It's not enough that you're a great software tester, you're great, DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, and all of that. It's very important that you grow your soft skill. And when we say soft skill, we're talking about how you work, right? You see some people where they are very good with their work. Talk about their work, they are very good at what they do. But if you look at their soft skill, if you look at their work etiquette, you see that they're lacking behind. These are the set of people where you see that they never respond to message, right? You maybe whatever communication channel you find them, they hardly respond to message. They don't interact with their colleagues, right? They find it difficult talking to people. They find it difficult, managing their emotions. And when I say talking to people, even I myself, and I'm an introvert, right? I can be very, very shy. But when it comes to my work, I am not shy. I throw my shyness into the bin. In fact, I forget whoever it is I think I am, and I focus on the work. And I can say today I'm one of the most bubbling person in my team, even though I can be very, very shy. But you would never know except I tell you, right? So your person, sometimes you might need to work on the type of person you are. And as Nigerians, or I'll say Africans, we're quick to say, oh, that's how I am. That's who I am. And most times when you find out people say that, they're just lazy to work on themselves. They are very, very lazy to work on themselves. They just say, oh, that's how I am. You have to just accept me the way you are. No, we can't accept you. If you want to, reach that career projection, if you want to get to that position you're looking forward to, your soft skills are, a larger part of yourself that you need to focus on. You need to work on. I mean, when it comes to work, and I mean being intentional, these are things that that you will have to go outside of your comfort zone, right? I think I was in a training session where we're talking about etiquette and all of that, and the lady talked. I think the lady talked. She said that if you walk into a gathering or an organization, and there are a couple of people there, and you're just working and you just sit down, you have a problem. I'm like, really? So you have a problem, and you can't say hello, hi, introduce yourself to whoever is sitting beside you, and you just walk in there and you just sit down and you carry your bag and you leave. You have a problem. You should check your etiquette. It's bad, right? So these are things that we might not necessarily pay attention to on a daily basis. Some of us in our class, nobody knows us. They just know there's just one dark guy, always wearing shirts, always sitting behind, doesn't talk. It's not good enough. I know your personality is that quiet person. You don't like people in your business and all of that. But yeah, you need to talk to people. Because you're going to work with people. No matter how much you hate people, you need people, right? To succeed, you need people. All right, so let's just go straight into it. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. These are the words of Henry Ford. So, whether you're just starting out or you're a professional, gear up and prepare. Mastering soft skill is essential for thriving in the tech industry. And I'm going to be, buttressing that point because I believe all of us here, whether we're beginners or we're already professionals, are looking forward to work in the tech space. You cannot succeed or you cannot survive here without soft skill. Even as developers or non-technical people, you cannot succeed in the tech space without communication, without teamwork, without collaborating with people, without empathy, without adaptability, without time management. You cannot survive. It doesn't matter how good and excellent you are with your job. Imagine that, oh, you write the best of codes, but you never meet deadline. You'll never meet deadlines. You never attend meeting. You don't communicate. You don't talk to people. You love to do things on your own. Tell me how you want to survive, how you want to, succeed at your work. So it's not about the great codes that you have that you write, right? It's not about, how good, how solid you are, the years of experience, or even just starting out as a person. These are things that we need to pay attention to. And if you notice, in recent times, a lot of tagging has gone on Gen Z, right? What you say, oh, Gen Zs, they can be very rude, or they are this, they are that. Most of the time, what most Gen Zs just like lack is soft skill, being being unable to communicate your feelings or your emotion properly, unable to manage or handle work pressure, right? These are things that you see that a lot of people, don't pay attention to, but they are silent key things that are very, very important. So soft skills you should develop: your communication skills, your empathy, teamwork, collaboration, emotional intelligence, problem solving, organization, time management, critical thinking, and adaptability. There are lots more than this, but we're just going to look at maybe two, three, or four of them in this session. All right. Number one thing we're going to be talking about today is communication. I'd like to say that communication is the bedrock of everything you can think of. Communication is a fundamental soft skill that involves expressing ideas effectively and understanding others, right? So, if you're trying to communicate or express an idea to a couple of people or even to an individual, your communication process is not complete if whoever it is that is receiving, the message cannot comprehend it. I mean, you have this great idea, you want to pitch it to a couple of stakeholders or investors, and you get, to the venue or, even if it's virtual, and all you're saying is, so, when this, and, your body language, the way your composure, the way you're talking, everybody's just like, well, what's he talking about? I mean, I don't understand, right? This is a lack of communication skill. You have good ideas, you have strong and solid ideas, but you're unable to communicate them. You're unable to express them, right? So it's not just about speaking or writing well, but also listening and interpreting the messages received. So it's not enough that you're a good listener, you're a good, speaker, or you're a good writer. You also need to learn how to listen to people. You need to learn how to listen to people. You need to learn how to interpret message. So it's in two different forms, right? You're being able to express your ideas, being able to speak without ambiguity, being able to, communicate to people and people being able to understand you. On the other hand, as well, you should be an active listener. You should be an active listener, right? You should be a good listener, being able to receive message and being able to, interpret them well. You can be an extremely skilled individual doing great work, writing great codes, but if you're not able to communicate your ideas effectively to others, then your idea may have diminished value. So it doesn't matter how beautiful your ideas are, excellent idea, great ideas, they can bring in billions of dollars and all of that, right? But you get to people that want to invest, you get to people that want to, be a part of your idea, and you're unable to articulate those ideas. At that point, the value already diminished because they can't relate, they don't get it, right? And when you're developing, I mean, in developing your communication skills, I think these are nine key things you want to take note of. One, clarity and concession. You want to ensure that whatever it is you're trying to communicate to people, to your colleagues, to your employee, it's very clear, right, and concise. For example, I mean, I'm also going to say this. How many of us know William Shakespeare? I know he has written a couple of books while I was in secondary school. We asked to read 10 pairs and, a couple of other novels. I'm one of those people that found it difficult to read and understand his books. I mean, I just can't relate. I just don't understand. I mean, that part of English, even though it's an excellent, you will just find maybe a tiny percentage of people who could read Tempest or whatever work of William Shakespeare without any difficulty. Just some percentage of people. But most people find it difficult to read because they are not necessarily clear, right? So you want to ensure that whatever message you're trying to pass across to people, it is clear and concise. Two, your body language. Imagine you talking to your colleagues or your bosses and you can't even have a high contact. I mean, you're always looking down. Your body, your gestation, your gestures. You're always that shy person. No, no, I don't want to talk. No, 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 no. It won't help you. It won't help you. So you need to work on your body language. Make eye contact when you're talking to people. Make eye contact. Be intentional about it. Look into people's eyes and say the things you want to say. Right. Three, active listening. Four, emotional intelligence. Right. Emotional intelligence, cut across, different boards. We're still going to get to talk about it, right? You must be able to manage your emotions when you're talking to people, right? You must be able to manage your anger, even your excitement, right? You know how to manage it and still communicate properly to people. Friendliness. I know some of us will say, oh, I don't like people. I'm not a people person. Oh, I just like being on my own. No, if you would thrive in this industry, if you would do well in the tech space, you need to be friendly. And I'm not saying bringing everybody into your space. No, I'm just saying you see a colleague of yours, you exchange nice pleasantries. So hi Shola, how are you doing? How was your night? Hope you had a great night rest. So I hope that you also have a great day today at work. That's it. It's not more than that, right? Just being friendly, being only, being open, right? Respect. You also need to learn how to respect people when you're talking to people, right? There's a way you can speak to people that you communicate respect, and there's also a way you speak to people, that you communicate, being rude, right? There's a way you're talking to people, right? And you're actually stylishly, not necessarily insulting, but you're passing a very difficult message, and the person will receive it with smile. You're saying something very serious, and they will receive it with smile, not with anger, because of how much, because of how you decide to communicate it. There's this saying that there's this thing that I usually say: the message you're trying to pass across, right, is as important as how you're passing the message. Don't only focus on the message, also focus and pay more attention on how you're passing the message, your composure, the language, the clarity, the body language, the gesture. you know it's also very important. These are things you pay attention to when you're talking to people. Empathy, cultural awareness, and confidence. These are, things that come together to form a solid communication skill. And you don't necessarily have to wait till you get out of school to develop all of these things. These are things you can do on a daily basis. We communicate on a daily basis. So these are things you can decide to improve on every day. Practice it with your colleagues. You know that you're that person that when you come into class, you just go and sit down and don't talk to people. Tomorrow is Saturday. Monday when you get to school, enter the class and say hi to a couple of people. Oh, hi, hi. Even though if you don't maintain high contact today, just say that hi and go to your seat. The following day, try to maintain eye contact and say hi, Shola, hi, hello, and go and say. And over time, you see that it doesn't bite. I mean, it doesn't bite. So you get accustomed to it, and over time you see yourself as a great communicator. I used to be a very shy person. I can't stand in front of people. I'm just that quiet person. But over time, with more intentionality, and because of the goals that I want, the goals I want to achieve, the things I want to do for myself, where I want to be in the future. I saw that it was really pertinent for me to develop my communication skills. I need to learn how to talk to people. I need to learn how to, face the crowd, right? If I don't have a solid communication skill, I'm going to find it difficult. How to develop a strong communication. So these are things I've talked about: emotional intelligence, clear articulation, active listening, emotional intelligence, friendliness, respect, and a couple of others. All right. Moving on to teamwork and collaboration. Whatever road you are on, collaboration is a big part of your job. Again, whatever road you are on, collaboration is a big part of your job. You cannot you cannot escape it. You cannot escape collaborating with people. Even if you're a business owner, right? Oh, I don't want to work for people. I'm just going to do my own, I'm going to have my own startup. I have that excellent idea, that I'm putting together. By the time I put one or two things together, I'm going to be a founder, right? I don't want to work with anybody. I don't want to work under anybody. Whatever it is, whether you're a co-founder or you're a founder or you're an employee, collaboration is a big part of your job. You will need people. You will need to collaborate with people. And you need to learn how to collaborate with people. Communication also come into work here. Effective teamwork and collaboration are essential for success of any organization. You need to learn how to work with people. I usually say that even when people talk about the fact that, oh, we are different, individual differences, oh, that's why we're acting the way we are. There's a way individual differences can be deployed to your own advantage. The fact that Shola is a different person, Michael is a different person, Femi is a different person. Those differences can be put together to form our selling point. They can be put together to our own advantage. The fact that Shola has a different experience, Femi had a different experience, the third person also had a different experience. Those experiences can be put together and we will have great results with collaboration. When individuals work together seamlessly, share ideas, and pool their talent, they can achieve remarkable outcomes. So it's very important that we learn how to work with people, and it starts from wherever it is you were as an intern or as a professional or even as a student, right? You need to learn how to work with your other classmates. You will find out that in every class, there's one person that is always getting angry, always fighting people. If you are not complaining about somebody taking your space, you are complaining about somebody not submitting your assignment, or they are just always angry. They find it difficult to understand people, find it difficult to work with people. Right? These are things where you want to start paying attention to as a person. Oh, am I a great collaborator? Do I enjoy working with people? Or when it comes to teamwork, when they put us into groups to work together on an assignment or on a project, I tend to shy away. I'm always that quiet person. When they put us in groups to work on person, I don't contribute. I just keep quiet. These things really really matter. They really matter, as little as you being part of a discussion group, or they put you together for an assignment and you're just 10 in the group, or you're just 5 and you're quiet, you're not talking, you're not contributing to anything. These things have their own effect on you, because by the time you get to the workspace, when you're a front end or a back end developer and somebody is waiting for you, and you're like, why are you waiting? You can't even do that anyways. Why are you waiting for me? They will wait for you because they need you to be done whatever it is you're working on, for them to merge and we have to see whatever it is you've done. So as little as as it is, as it plays out in school, you want to get involved already. You want to get involved. You want to learn how to manage different people. You will find out that there's some people that there's nobody they can live with. There's nobody they can work with, no matter how difficult you are, no matter how difficult the person. Let everybody has fought with the person and they find it difficult to do it. There's some people that you find that they will work with that individual and they will not have issues. They will not even fight. And it's not that they have a large tolerance threshold, or they can tolerate anything. They just know how to manage people. They know how to work with people, right? Importance of collaboration in the workspace. One, increase productivity. One way to improve productivity within is to have a strong teamwork and collaboration skill. When everybody puts heads together and say, okay, this is what we want to achieve. This is the goal. How do we achieve the goal? Matthew is giving his own opinion. Shola is saying something else. Dapo is saying something else. Eze is saying something else. And we put all of these things together. We are going to formulate a solution. Enhanced problem solving, learning and growth, right? In a space where there's teamwork, there's collaboration, you will find learning and growth, because what you don't know, Femi, Shola might know. What Shola doesn't know, Eze might know. What Eze doesn't know, Michael might know it. right? You will always find learning and growth because as individuals are speaking, you can pick one or two things, right? Okay, oh, shall I just mention something? I'm not sure I know that. You listen to it. Oh, you pick that knowledge consciously or unconsciously, right? So you will always find learning and growth in a place where there's teamwork and collaboration. All right, emotional intelligence. I so much love this image. Emotional intelligence. I'm going to spend a little bit of time here because emotional intelligence is very important, right? Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify, understand, and manage your own emotions and the emotions of others. You see that? Being able to identify, understand, and manage your own emotions, right? One, and also manage other people's emotion, right? So you need to, this is where self-awareness, comes into place. You need to know you. If you don't know yourself, right? If you don't know who you are, people are going to define you as what you are not. If you don't know who you are, people will define you as what you are not. So it's very important that you're self aware. You are self aware. You need to know yourself, know your weaknesses, know your own strength. If you know your strength, you can be able to deploy it to the right place. If you know your weaknesses, then you know what to work on. But if you don't know yourself, that's when you find that people start telling you who you are not. They start defining you in their own way with what they think, their own perception, right? So, five major components: self awareness, self regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. If you're able to harness these five skills, you're good. I'm telling you, you're very good. Self awareness. Self awareness is the ability to recognize and understand your own emotion, strength, weakness, values, and motive. You need to be aware. You need to know yourself. Know yourself that no other person knows you. Right? Don't allow people to define you. Don't allow people to give you a definition of who you are not. Because it is when you don't know yourself that some words actually get to you, right? So people can say and can come and say, "Oh, that girl, she's not smart. The only thing she knows is this, that, and that." But you know who you are. You know your realities. You know your own strength. When they are saying those things, you will be able to talk back and say, "Excuse you, that's not who I am. That's not me. You don't know me. You don't know. You can't just define me. You don't know me. That's not who I am." But when you've not even realized who you are, when you don't even know yourself, right? You don't know who you are, you don't know yourself. That is when some words can actually get to you. When people call you, maybe, I'm sorry, say, "Yo, you're very stupid, you're not smart." Those words can only get to you when you don't know yourself, when you don't know who you are, when you're not self-aware. If you know that you're very smart, "Oh, I'm a brilliant person, I'm good, I'm this, I'm that." When somebody else comes and says something that is not, then that's when you're going to say, "No, no, no, that's not me. That's not, I'm not stupid. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm not stupid. I know this is not me. I know who I am. I'm not stupid. I'm very smart. I'm very, very, I'm very, very smart. That's not me." But if you're not aware, people will define you. They will call you all manner of things. And this is not even only negative things, right? If you don't know your own strengths, you don't know how good you are. You don't know the things you're great at. You're great at. People can easily say and come, "Oh, I think the things I've been seeing you do, I think you'll be good at software testing. I think you'll be a good QA." Not to say that you don't take people's suggestions or and all of that. No, there's a place for that, but there's a place of you knowing yourself, knowing your own strength, and deploying your strength to the right place. Right? People will always come and say, "I think you can do software testing. Oh, I think you would be a good QA engineer," because of who they think you are, right? And you go into it and you start getting frustrated because you're not necessarily deploying your strengths in the right place. Two, self-regulation. This refers to the ability to manage disruptive emotions and impulses effectively, right? This is very important. Being able to manage your own emotions. Emotions in this, we were talking about destructive emotion here is anger. When you're angry, how do you react? When somebody, offends you, do something that hurts you or, cause whatever thing and you're angry, How do you manage your anger? I know one or two persons on this call would have seen people when they get angry and you just remain quiet. Everybody start looking at you. Eh, is that wow? I didn't know this person can be like this. I thought it was gentle. I thought it was this. Because you've not seen that part of them, and by the time they're showing that part of them, you're shocked about how they are managing it. And you're like, oh, I'm so disappointed. I don't know you can act like that. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could say such word. That's to say that that individual at that point lost it and they couldn't manage whatever it is they were feeling at that point. The rage of anger, they couldn't control it and they start saying things that at the end of the day they will later regret, right? But I mean, their words, it's already out of your mouth. There's nothing you can do about it. You can only apologize, but you said it, right? So you must be able to manage your own emotions. There's this, thing in leadership that I'll talk about. For you cannot fight your boss. You can't be fighting your boss. Are you joking? You can't fight your boss. It doesn't matter if your boss is right or if it's wrong. You cannot fight your boss. So at that point, whether you're angry or you're not angry, you need to be able to manage it. Manage your emotions with your employee, with your senior colleague, right? It involves expressing your emotions appropriately. Whether you're angry, you can be angry and you be as calm as anything, as calm as a dove in your speech, right? And you already know that, oh, when I'm angry, the best thing is not to talk, because if I open my mouth and talk, I'm going to say what I'm going to read. You look at how you can manage it. There is nothing that can be managed. You know that you're that kind of person that when you get angry, or you can say all manner of things. What do? You ensure that whenever you're angry, you try not to talk, or you even exit the room. Just excuse yourself and go get some fresh air and calm down before you say whatever it is you want to say, right? Don't allow your emotions to rule you. You should be in charge of your emotions, not your emotions being in charge. You should be in charge of your emotions, right? Don't allow your emotions to control you. You should be able to control your own emotions, right? Three, motivation. It's about having a positive outlook, a strong desire for achievement, and being driven by inner ambition rather than external factors. So like Isa was saying when he was reading my bio, right? I know I've talked to tons of people that say, oh, I'm interested in tech, I want to do tech. And I found out some people, they have the money to buy these courses, take consultations and all of that. And you see them pay for classes that they will not attend. I know some of you are, yeah, you are doing the same thing. You will buy courses, you will not watch, right? Some people can afford this education, but they don't. Commitment is expensive to them. That's the word. They can't be committed to anything. They are always looking for external factor to motivate them. You need to stay driven by your own inner ambition. When you have, goals that you've set for yourself in the next 5 years, when they are looking for the best software developer in Nigeria, I want to be part of the top 5 or top 10. When they're looking for the best agile project manager, people who can manage a project from ideation to production or to live, I want my name to be part of those people they are going to be recommending for such people. Then those are things that should be pushing you to do better, should be pushing you to study more, should be pushing you to invest in yourself. You don't necessarily need to wait for external factors. You don't necessarily there's a room for that where you're motivated by seeing other people's success, you're motivated by your mentors and other things. But at the same time, you need that inner drive. What is pushing you? What exactly is pushing you?
Okay, it seems we are having a bit of like network connection issues. Just will be back to join us soon. In the meantime, we can get our questions down, like just try to like hold on to them, and then when it's time to ask questions, type them, and then our questions will be answered.
I'm so sorry. My
Okay.
voice went off for a second. I'm not sure the last thing we heard. I'll just go ahead and share my screen again. Hazel, do you want to
Welcome
help?
back.
Yeah, thank you. Do you want to help me? What was the last thing you guys got?
Yeah. So the last thing I heard you say was push yourself.
Okay, that's good. We're still on track. So yeah, I was talking about motivation. Being inner driven. Having your own strong desire for for something. Yeah. So going forward, empathy. It's the ability to understand and to share the feelings of others. This is you being able to sympathize with people, being able to share their own feeling, being able to share their emotions, not feeling like what's the word? An omega that doesn't have an emotion, right? So it involves recognizing other people's emotional state and responding appropriately. Social skills, social skill play a vital role in understanding and managing social situations effectively, right? So this involves both verbal and non-verbal skill. You being able to speak clearly, you being able to listen actively as well, and the non-verbal has to do with you being able to maintain high contact, and of course body language as well. Yeah, so moving on to time management, which is where I'm going to sort of wrap up on the skills you should develop as tech professionals, right? I would love to refer to us as that. Time management is the ability to use your time productively and efficiently. You'll find out a lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy." At the end of the day, right? If you check their business, what they do with their time is usually unproductive things. You could also think of it as a heart of having time to do everything that you need to do without feeling stressed about it. You being able to allocate time to things. Oh, I want to do this in the next 2 hours. When I'm done, I want to take a 30-minute nap or 1 hour nap. Then I want to get this done and I want to do it. I want to do this. You being able to, get the things you need to do done timely. I think I said this in the very beginning. You can be very skilled. You write great code, you're a very sound front end engineer, very sound back end engineer, and you have issues managing time. You never meet your deadline. You never meet your tax deadline. You are the person that comes to meeting late. When they say stand up is 9:45, if you're not joining 9:50, you're joining 10 a.m. or you don't even join at all. And excuses like, oh, sorry, I didn't get the notification, or I forgot, or I didn't see the reminder. And these are things that you're consistent with. I usually say that one way you actually build your brand, right, as a person, they are usually from the things that you do most of the time unconsciously. Because when people are going to talk about you, they're going to talk about the things that they've seen you do. Not necessarily, they won't necessarily come to ask you and say, especially when it comes to rooms you don't have access to, rooms where, decisions are being made about you, right? They won't come out to ask you, oh, Shola, could you tell us about yourself? The discussion about you is going to be about the things you have done in the past. How you used to come to meeting late, how you never meet your deadlines, how you always, skip meetings, how you're never timely. These are the things that, especially now in our world where almost everyone works remotely, like, right? You don't necessarily have to go to the office. So if your meeting is 8:45, why are you not the 8:45? If the tax deadline is, 31st of June, timeline that you agreed together, not necessarily imposed on you, and you still don't meet up. Okay, it has happened the first time, we can understand. Second time, we get it. Third time, okay. And it becomes fourth, fifth, sixth, and you're consistent with it. That is who you are. You'll just never meet timeline. You never meet deadlines. You never come early to meetings. It is who you are. It is not what you're telling us that you are. We can see it play out. You're never timely. You get to meetings late. You never meet deadline. That is your personal brand. That is who you are. That's an image of you that you've built for yourself, right? You need to be able to understand, to differentiate between what is urgent and what is important, right? You need to understand, okay, if I don't do this thing now, what is going to happen? If I don't log in into Instagram today, if you're not making money from it, especially, what's going to happen? And I have tons of things I want to do. I have courses I want to take. I have books I want to read. If I don't press my phone in the immediate, if I don't respond to that message in the immediate, what's going to happen? So you need to, know, you need to learn how to prioritize. You need to know what's urgent, what's important, what you need to attend to in the immediate, what you need to pay more attention to. I mean, these are things that are embedded in time management. You need to learn how to manage your own time. Right. So how do I develop this soft skill? Um, One, continuous learning. You never stop learning. One key thing I usually tell people that want to transition or they're in the process of transitioning into tech is, if you have the notion in your mind that I just want to come, I'm just coming to tech to make money. I'm tired of reading. I don't even want to study. I just want to make money. You are in the wrong space already. You are in the wrong place, because here in tech, there is always something to read. There is always something new. If there's no GPT 4.0, there's a Gemini, there's a new AI, there's a new concept, there's a way you want to do your code. There's always something to learn. We always need to upgrade your skills, especially if you're not someone that is complacent. If you're very proactive, if you're aiming high, you would always have to learn. You will always have to take courses. You will always have to watch videos. You just will always learn, because it's a very vast space, right? You will need to improve yourself over and over again. So continuous learning will help you to develop your soft skill. You can buy courses, you can take courses. Lightfort is one place you can do that. All right. You know, I know some of you might be hearing it for the first time. I know Lightfort partner with us on this program, right? It's an LMS platform, that has AI in it, where you can do tons of things. They usually say one stop shop, right? I mean, it's just a stop where you can do couple of things. You're not only going to take courses that will empower you for that future that you've envisioned, you also get additions like AI helping you to put in ATS, rated resume. You could also do have interviews. You have interviews on the platform. Get even jobs to apply for. But first thing is, you need to learn. You need to know how to do things. You need to know how to manage your time. You need to know how to talk to people. You need to know how to communicate with people, right? online training, soft skill training. These are things that you need. Join a professional network. I know Lightfoot has, some sort of community that you can also join. Join a professional network where values are being shared. No all those WhatsApp platform where you're doing tap tap, where you're doing tap tap, or sharing all those funny things, right? Yeah, so you want to join a professional network, where values are being shared, where real life discussions are happening, right? Not what is trending, not somebody's marriage that is trending, right? Where great values are being shared, right? Identify your strength and weakness. You need to be real with yourself. Sit yourself down. Know your strength. Know the things you're excellent, you're good at. Oh, I communicate goodly, but I don't have emotional intelligence. I can talk to people anyhow. Sit yourself down, be real with yourself, identify your strength, know your weakness. When you understand your weakness, then you can know where to deploy more work, you can know where to focus on, what to do better, right? Seek feedback and improvement, seek feedback from people, and be able to take feedback. Some people will tell you, oh, I seek feedback. Yes, they seek feedback, but they don't have the heart for feedback, right? So you give them feedback and it falls on your head and you're hungry because you're giving them your honest review or your honest feedback, right? So you need to also have the heart to take feedback, learn from others. There are tons of people out there, there are tons of professionals out there doing excellent job. Learn from them, follow them, attend their webinars, read their books. These are the things we can do to improve ourselves, improve our soft skills. So today we've been able to talk about, improving your communication skills, improving, doing well with your emotional intelligence, being able to harness your emotion. Do not allow your emotions to rule you. You should be in charge of your emotions, right? We also talked about it talked about time management, you being able to manage your time effectively, right? Being timely. That's on people culture, right? Some people they never come late. I mean, it is not a magic. It is not like they were not born like that. It's not like they were born to never come late. No, I wish people were born that way, but they were not born like that. They learned it. It was a lot of intentionality. They never come to meetings late. You will never find them late. If they are not the first person to be on the call, they will be the second. They will just be there on time. If the highest that can happen is they are just there on that particular time the team is slated for. 10 o'clock is their 10 o'clock, not 10:01. They never come late. See, that's a lot of intentionality. So it's not enough that you've heard this thing. You will need to, put in the work, right? Pay attention to yourself, be intentional, right? Be intentional about this. So I want to be a better person. I'm not only focusing on learning how to code. I'm not only focusing on, learning how to being a great quality assurance person, right? I'm also learning to enhance my soft skill. I'm also learning to be a good manager, to be a good leader. If you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead others, right? So you pay attention to these things. They are very important. Adaptability, communication, empathy, all of these things, they are very important. They are going to contribute to your success as a person. And like I said, you want to develop yourself. You want to, take courses. I gave examples of platform. I know LifeWorks, they are currently building their platform, and by the time they finally launch in coming days, you're going to get courses at the cheapest rate you can ever think of. And you want to take opportunity of that. And that's why you should join the LifeWorks community. That's why you should join the wait list. I'm sure we're going to get more information on that. To kickstart your journey with Lightforce, you want to join our wait list by visiting the link displayed on on my screen. Thank you so much. I think I've had a great time. If there are questions, of course, I'll be open to take them. Yeah, thank you. Over to you, Hiza.
Thank you so much, Miss Dunson. Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
talk this evening. This was very informative. I really enjoyed the talk. The part about being honest with yourself, I try, but I'm still I'm still working on that. Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
if any one of you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments, and I'm sure she'd be more than willing to answer all our questions. So yeah, I guess here we just wait for them to drop their comments.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So while maybe some of them are typing, maybe I should just ask a few questions so it doesn't get
Oh,
all
yeah.
awkward as we just wait. So um let's start with how did you okay, so I think primarily your role at your organization is to manage people, right?
Yeah, manage people, managing processes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So I'd like to ask when, like, what was the point where you said, okay, I think this is what I want to do. I would like to, manage people to enhance collaboration in teams. Was there like a particular turning point where you said, this is what you want to do?
Um, how do I answer this? So I remember that year when I finished from school, and so when I was in school, I was always like doing events, managing events, sourcing for funds. All those events that we used to do in school where there's no sponsor, but you just have to look for the sponsor. Sponsor has to come,
Yeah.
however way. So I was always involved in things like that. I remember my last project before I left school was a program for students, and I had like 2 million budgets, and I had no sponsor, and I needed to, get the
Wow.
money. Even though I later on got more than my budget and all of that, I had to hand over some cash
Wow.
to, my successor and all of that. So I used to think I was going to do maybe event management because I was always managing events and all of that.
Event.
So when I finished from school, my mentor was like, "Oh, so I see all the great stuff you do in school. What do you want to do?" Well, I couldn't say I want to do event management because I just was not sure. I couldn't really say anything. He said, "I see the great stuff you do. I think you should go check out project management." I think that was like the first time the word was going to really, really struck me. And it took me to somebody that was practicing as a project manager. And we had a conversation. And maybe a month after, I just went for my youth service. But one thing is, after I had that conversation with him and he said, "Oh, yeah, you could do Scrum, you could do project management and all of that." I just went with that word to camp. And immediately we came back from camp and I was deployed. That was my focus for the year. I didn't do anything outside of that. I was just studying. I mean, I was not applying for jobs. I was not doing anything. I was studying. I remember my roommates then, even when we go to work together, because I served at, state secretariat. When we go to work and come back together, she cooks, she's tired and she just sleep. I will be awake reading with my lamp 12 a.m., 1 a.m. She wakes up and says, "Josie, why are you awake? We are not writing exam. Go and sleep now." I'm saying, "No, I just want to read. I just want to read more." I was just immersing myself in knowledge, just studying, trying to understand what project management is all about, the different methodology you can use to manage projects. It was during my service year I was able to put money together to write my first professional certification without having to go to any training college or anything. I just sat
Wow.
myself down, studied a lot and said, "Okay, I think I can write this exam by this time." Put in the money together. I think it was about if $150 then. I paid the money and I hissed my exam. And immediately I was done. Luckily for me, I was able to get an internship with a company in US then. And that was pretty much how I
Whoa.
just started. It was just a journey of dedication. I knew what I wanted and I went for it. And I started just researching, studying, doing a lot of self-study, and all of that. So that was pretty much how I started my journey.
Wow, that was greatly inspiring. Oh wow,
Yeah.
you must have really put in a lot of effort to get to pass the exam in one sitting without
of
any
of
technical
course.
classes. Wow, that
Yeah.
is great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, wow, thank you so much for that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Welcome.
so we have one question here by Ayo Ifedafo, and he says, "How do you use soft skills to move up to leadership roles? How do you use soft skills to move up to leadership roles?"
Yeah, for you to be able to leave that current position to a higher level, your soft skills are very important. One, communication. If you cannot communicate the value that you bring into an organization, there's a problem. They can't just call on you and say, "Hiyo, last couple of months, what have you been doing? What has been your experience at, this?" And they're just saying, "Oh, it's been good, I did this and that," and That's a point to sell yourself. You sell yourself and oversell yourself, right? Your courage, the way you know, I wanted to use a Yoruba for, I'm sorry for my people that are not Yoruba, you karamasiki. You karamasiki yourself, right? You carry the courage you put, you give the work that you do can is enough to take you to the next level. But even if you yourself you don't see the value in what you're doing, why do you expect somebody, your colleagues or your team leads to see the value in the work you do? When you as a person you don't see the value in what you do, you don't place value on yourself, you don't place value on your work, you should not expect other people to place value on you or whatever it is you're doing, right? Why should we increase your pay when people are saying, oh, I want more money, I want my salary increase? Why should we increase your salary? Really, why if they ask you why, you say because I do tons of things at the organization. What are the tons of things? You can't articulate them, you can't talk about them, you can't express the value that you bring into the organization. So these are, as I said, as little as cliche as it might sound, communication skill, as cliche as it might sound, it's very important. If you can't communicate your value, you can't communicate the value you bring into an organization, you don't carry yourself well, right? You don't place value on what you do. You do not expect other people to place value on what you do if you yourself find it difficult to place value on what you do, right? So it's very important that as a person you're able to articulate your skills, you're able to articulate the value you bring into an organization. That's why you find that some people fail interviews. They fail interviews not because they don't have skills or not because they're not good at their job. They fail interview because they cannot articulate how good they are, the value that they can bring into an organization, right? If in fact the way you approach an interview is as important as attending the interview in itself. It's as important as these things you're cramming, you know, the things that if you are finding it difficult to express them, to say them, to articulate them in the right way, there's no reason why you should be employed. You also find the same, and in the same way, people, find it difficult to negotiate their salaries. They run away from, no, I don't like to negotiate. When it comes to money, I just shy away. You're just going to keep beating yourself in your foot because the HRs are not necessarily for you. They are for the organization. They are not for you. So you must be able to articulate, what you do, what value you bring into the organization, being able to carry yourself, being able to also project your work. Don't hide behind anyone. Stop hiding. Project your work, project yourself, project what you do. These are ways where you can move to the next cadre of role in your organization. Yeah, I hope I'm able to answer that.
Yeah, yeah, yes, you do. Thank you very much for that. I hope. Let me
Yeah.
see. So, Ayo Ifedakwa, I hope you heard what she said. So basically, you should project your value. You should know your value, know yourself, and know how to sell yourself. Because if you don't put much value in what you do, then not many people are gonna put value on what you do. You have to start with yourself first. Thank you so much for that, Dunsin.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank
Now
you.
I'll be moving on to the next question by Dami, and it says, "Can you speak a bit more about emotional intelligence? Can you speak more about emotional intelligence?"
Oh, okay, that's okay. Right. So enough of the grammar. I mean, it's not a big, it's not a big grammar in itself. What emotional intelligence is all about, you able to control all your emotions, being in charge of your own emotions and also that of others, right? Two people can be fighting now. They can maybe serious argument and all of that, and you can enter the room and you bring peace into the place because of how you decide to approach the situation. So it's just you being aware of your emotions. You already know. We talked about the fact that you have to be self-aware, right? It's one of those important things under emotional intelligence. If you're not aware of your own self, you're not aware of your emotions, you're not aware of the things you can do. For example, myself, I know how I can be when I'm angry. you most likely will not even know. I'll just be quiet. I'll be very silent. I won't talk. You won't see me do anything. But my facial expression will communicate the fact that I am angry. And at the same time, you will see someone else angry and they are lashing out words. They are all over the place. They are angry. They are saying things that they will later on regret. And when, the fizzleness goes off, they are remorseful and they start apologizing. You could have done better. You could have handled the situation better. You could have managed it better, right? So it's just you understanding, being aware of your own emotion. If I am angry, I know that I can lash out, I can say awful things. What do? I can always walk out in that moment. I can keep quiet in that moment. I can decide not to react in that moment. And when I'm calm, I can talk. So it's all about you being aware of your emotions and also being able to manage other people's emotions as well, being able to manage your other colleagues or even your classmates emotions as well. I think those are like the key things we talk about on emotional intelligence, being self-aware, not allowing your emotions to rule you. You cannot afford to be led by emotions. You only read when you feel like reading. You only eat, imagine you only eat when you feel like eating. Right? You do things by feelings, or it's only when you feel like, when you feel like doing things that you do them. It's only when you feel like studying, you study. When you feel like buying course, you buy course. Only when you feel like applying to jobs that you apply for jobs. You don't apply for jobs when you're not feeling like applying for jobs. You don't go to class when you're not feeling like going to class. Just imagine that. So it's all about you being in charge of your emotions, not allowing your emotions to rule you, but you ruling the emotions. You being in charge, being able to control your own emotions, right? We also talk about motivation. You cannot afford to be dependent on external factors for emotions, for motivation all the time. You cannot afford to be dependent on external factors all the time. You need to be self-driven, have strong desires to do great things, have strong desires to achieve great things. You can't be driven by external factors. You can't be waiting on people to motivate you all the time, right? Empathy and social skills are things I want to talk about. Being able to maintain eye contact with your colleagues, body language, how you carry yourself, your courage, right? Being able to also speak clearly without ambiguity, and listening effective. These are things that corroborate emotional intelligence, being self-aware, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and of course social skills. These are the things we talked about on the emotional intelligence. I don't know if that does it for you.
Thank you very much, Dosing, once again. Wow. So,
Okay.
um, I hope you got that, Dami. I'm not sure if you can type in the chat, but yeah, I hope you got that, Dami. So, emotional intelligence is basically being in control of your own emotions as well as those of others around you. Thank you so much for that enlightening answer. So, yeah, we'll be
Okay.
moving on to the next question by Hafsa Anibaba. And it says, I have a weakness. I have a weakness I deal with on a daily basis. I'm aware of my strengths and weaknesses, but if anyone points out this particular weakness, it still hurts me, even though I'm aware. How would you advise I manage my reaction? Did you get that,
I
Tosin?
yes, I did.
All
I
right.
can understand. I
Yeah, you're
can
welcome,
understand,
Dami.
right? I talked about feedback, right? Having capacity to take feedback, and it's okay. It's okay to feel bad when people give you feedbacks that you don't like. I mean, everyone does that, even myself. When people come and, so like I said, I can be a very very shy person. I just like to hide as much as I can. The only place I don't hide is at work, but outside of work I try to hide and be quiet and all of that. At times I still receive feedback. People say, oh, you just like to be on your own. You don't talk to people. You're this, you're that. And I feel odd at the same time when people are saying things like that. But it's the truth, right? One thing you need to acknowledge is you already know those weaknesses, and people are coming to say, oh, you did this, you did that. You can take that in different forms. One, you can take it and say, okay, apologize. And in your own space, you're feeling bad. You speak to yourself at that point. I know that this is true. This is my weakness and I am working on it. You speak positive things to yourself. I am working on it. I am not a snob. For example, you're being tagged as a snob. You don't greet people with you're proud, you're this, you're that, and they say it to your face, to your own self. You say, yes, I understand, people may see me as a snob and I am working on this, but this is not who I am. I am not a snob. I'm a peacemaker. I'm a loving person, right? You speak the truth of what you want to see in yourself to yourself, right? You don't necessarily have to confess whatever it is you're saying. You okay, they said it, okay, no problem, thank you, I'm sorry you experienced this, no problem. But when it comes to yourself, you sit yourself down and tell yourself the truth. This is not who I am. This is not who we are aspiring to be. Afisat, this is not who you are. This is not who you are aspiring to be. I am still a work in progress, and I will not allow other people's confession or other people's naysayers, make me feel bad and not make me continue on this journey. I am a work in progress, and I will get better. So you need to grow your capacity to be able to take feedbacks from people and not necessarily pass the message across to people that you don't like taking feedbacks. You will notice, I've experienced it in workspace where some people don't take feedbacks. For example, I'd worked with a guy for like 2 years. He can be very funny, the way he addresses people, the way he talks to people, he will always get to you and you're like, why is this person talking to me this way? Right. And I've worked with him for 2 years. Those 2 years, I have never gone back to him to say, oh, hello, you usually talk to me in a way that I don't like. And never ever. I was just, taking it that way. And the day came, I couldn't take it anymore. And I'm like, I'm just going to call this guy. I called my CEO first, reported him. Then I called, after I reported to my CEO, I was still not calm. I'm like, no, I can't take this again. I called him and I tried as much as, in fact, I'm so sure I was not angry when I get that, my feedback. I was still apologizing. I mean, I was giving feedback and I was apologizing for giving feedback. I apologized and ensured I passed my message well. What reaction did I get? This guy stopped greeting me. If he attends meeting, I ask him questions, he doesn't respond. He did that for like a week or two. And later on, he came back and he started apologizing. He's sorry. So you don't want to pass a message to people that you don't like taking feedbacks. No, you don't want to have that image of yourself. Take the feedback, but ensure that you say to yourself positive things you want to see in yourself. I am not a snob. I am not proud, right? I am a work in progress. I will do better. In fact, I am doing better. I am working on myself. And you also ensure that you work on yourself and you don't necessarily get angry at those people. When you see them again, you greet them, you laugh with them, you even appreciate the fact that they gave you honest feedback. So you need to grow your capacity of taking feedback. Your that capacity needs to grow. You need to be able to relate outside of the moment. You need to be able to think outside of the moment. Oh, they are saying this. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. No problem. Thank you. I appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much. But when you get back to yourself, don't sit down in that emotions of feeling back. At that point, speak to yourself back and say, Afsat, this thing we are working on it. Why did you do that again? You should not do that. Then you speak to, oh, I am not this, I am not that. You speak positivity, positive things. You say it about yourself. But I hope that was going to help you, one or two ways.
Wow, thank you so much, Johnson. Thank you so much. I hope
You're
you
welcome.
got that, Hafsa. Let me open the comments. Hope you got that answer. So yeah, basically what I got from that was you do not want to show yourself as one that cannot take feedback, and I really think that's very important. We have to try to know how to take feedback, and I believe that's the first step to seeing good change, positive change in ourselves. Thank you so much, Miss Dunson. Once again, I
Yeah, thank
wow.
you.
So um, so let's move on to the next question by Joseph Abolade. I hope I got that right. It says, how do you handle a situation where a team member is not pulling their weight and is causing deadlines to be missed? And what strategies would you use to address the issue and improve the team's overall performance? Did you get that, or should I repeat again?
Yep, I got it. I got it. I
All
got it.
right, all right.
Yeah, so there are different ways where we can address things like that in agile. I'm sorry, in agile or scrum, we usually say that accountability belongs to the team as a whole, right? So it means that team members should be able to hold each other accountable. So I understand the part where you said, you know, the person is not putting so much work and it ends up affecting everyone's productivity. One thing as a team member, one thing you can do to help that individual is draw their attention to them, try to understand them, you know. And in a trying to understand them, I'm not saying allow them to draw you into their own pit, right? Especially if that person doesn't have that kind of track record, right? It's not their person not to, be productive. It's not their person not to meet up with deadlines. It's just a pattern that has been happening in recent time. You might want to call that person's attention to it and say, "Oh, hi, Shola. I think you've been dropping the ball lately. These and these are things you used to do. Now I don't see you do them anymore. Is everything okay? Are you facing difficulty at home?" Just try to understand, what the problem is at that time, right? And if you can prefer solution, of course prefer solution as much as you can. But if it becomes a pattern, I mean, that's becoming who they are. It becomes a pattern. That's what they do over time. You might want to escalate, right? Especially if there's a great dependency on how you guys work together. Meaning that if they don't do something, if they don't do their own tasks, it's definitely going to affect your own productivity. You might want to escalate. You're not escalating because you want to call them out. You're escalating because we need to move forward. We need to be more productive. We need to get results, and we just can't afford to be at this point at this time. Yeah. So one thing is you might want, if it is not their pattern, if that's not who they are, you might want to, talk to them, approach them, let them understand what you've noticed over time. But if it becomes a pattern and you've spoken to them again and there's no changes, you might want to escalate. It's not your fault that they are dropping the ball. And of course, we also cannot afford, lagging behind in having results and successes at work. So you might want to escalate to your direct team lead or, the leadership at that point in time. I
Wow,
hope that
thank
that
you.
helps. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Miss Johnson. Once again, it's just wow. I hope we're all. I can see many people in the chat. I hope we're all getting, sorry, some very high value information from this. So this has been really really good. I see where it's like we're fresh out of questions. Maybe we should wait a little bit for some more questions to come in. I hope you got that, Miss Joseph. I hope you got that, Joseph. You could reply if you did. So while we wait for maybe any more questions or before we close, I just like you to maybe give us your social media handles so we know where to follow you and maybe stalk your activity on the check out your activity on the internet.
Yeah. If you scan this QR code, it should take you directly to my LinkedIn
Okay,
account. On Instagram, which is where I am most of the time. What's my handle again? Faith underscore Oluwa Johnson. That's my
Faith
handle.
underscore Oluwa
Oluwa
Johnson. Let me
Johnson.
see.
Yeah, that's my handle on,
Okay,
on social media. Yeah.
all right. Faith underscore Oluwadun. I've typed that down. So, yeah, the information will be sent to the group after this meeting. So, maybe just a few more minutes. Yeah, let's wait and see for any more questions. Remember to send in your questions to the chat so you can get a reply from Miss Dunson. All right. Okay, we have a question from Ianu. I hope I got that right as well. And it says, "What is Lightforth? Can you tell us more about the company?"
Oh, yeah. Why not? Lightfoot. That's like my baby at the moment. That's one of the exciting projects, platforms you should look out for in coming days. I'm telling you. So, like I said earlier, Lightfoot is a one-stop shop. It's a learning management platform. It's a learning LMS, learning management system, right? Learning management platform where you can, buy courses, range of courses. Like I said, even courses to not only technical courses, maybe your tech courses and all of that. You could also get courses to improve your soft skill, and it's not a platform where, you just get courses, watch the videos, and that's the end of it. No. After you're done with your courses, you also have access to, and here, that could help you put, one of the best resume together. An 8 years standard resume. There's an 8 years integration on the platform where once you're done, building your resume, filling in your information, it goes to um, it goes to the ATS side and it's being scored, and you can see how much value your resume has. Outside of that, there's also the auto apply feature on Lightfall platform. And what's auto apply all about? It's just on the platform as well, you can see tons of job. I mean, you all know, I mean, data has given us today the number of unemployment that we have today. And every year we have a number of graduates coming out of school every now and then. You don't want to come out of school and join the queue, right? You want to be ahead of them. And one way to be ahead of the queue is to invest in yourself, invest in what really matters, right? Invest in what really matters. And one of those things that matters is, studying, get courses, and platform has given you the opportunity. So on that platform as well, you study, you get courses, you also get to do your resume. You also get to apply to jobs from all over the world. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in Nigeria and you want to apply for a job in US, in Canada, in wherever. From the platform, you can also apply for jobs, right? Solid jobs, right? At the same time, you can also prepare for interviews, right? The platform also has the AI integration where you can have the video interview. As you're looking at me, you're also looking at somebody on the other hand, and you're having video interview, answering questions, asking you questions that are interview standard, depending on whatever role you're applying for. That's why I refer to it as a one-stop shop, right? You get courses, you finish your courses, you get your resume done, an 8 year standard resume. We are done with that. You also get to apply for opportunities, solid opportunities, not only limited to Nigeria. Talk of tech, global tech organization, talk of the big fours, talk of great platform, great organizations doing things out there. You can apply right from the corner of your room, right? So it's a one-stop shop where you can get to do numerous things, and you want to join the community. You want to join one of the very first people that is going to have access to these futures when it is released at a very, very, if I could say, ridiculous price, right? So you want to join the platform so that when this products is released in coming days to the market, you want to quickly jump on it. You want to quickly take advantage of the opportunity to use all of these features, right? Imagine I'm not saying that's the price. Imagine you with 1,500 or with 2,000, you can buy a course that would, benefit you. You're not only buying the course, right? You can also, with a very small amount of money, get your resume done. If you ask some people on this call, if you check their resume, it's not even 8 year standard. That's why you ask some people, oh, they'll tell you, I've been applying for jobs. So today I applied for 1,000 jobs. I ask them tomorrow, today I did 50 applications. And the only thing they get at the end of the day is 50, or it's just rejection letters, not even an interview. What I usually say is that when you apply for jobs like that and you did not get any positive response, you should check your application process. The organization is not the problem, right? most of the time your application process is the issue. Your CV, right, is the issue. How does your CV look like? What is the content of your CV? How solid is it? Is it ATS friendly? Right, so these are the things that you're going to enjoy once Lightforth is is in the market. And it's just like I said, you don't have to just take courses and run somewhere else and be looking for how you want to put your CV together, paying people to get your CV. No, that can be done on the platform. You get your resume, at the same time you also attend, apply for jobs, and also have a mock interview session also on the platform. So this is what this is the value that Lightfoot is bringing to market. We're looking at solving unemployment problem. We're also looking at, ensuring professionals are getting upskill. Remember when I was talking earlier, I talked about the fact that even on the job, you will need to keep learning. Learning never stops in the tech space. Learning never stops. And, one place to always run to get more knowledge, to get more courses, to, upgrade yourself, to upgrade your skill is Lightfoot. Yeah, so these are the value Lightfoot is bringing to market. You want to join the wait list, so that you can get first hand information once the product is live. Just use the link showing on my screen, and it will take you to the community, and you can be a part of it.
Wow, thank you so much for that once again, Miss Dunson. So yeah, Lightforth is a one-stop shop for all your career needs, especially with regards to job applications and CV optimization. So just basically for the most of your career. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you're
All
correct.
right,
You're
all right.
correct.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. That sounds very interesting. I will check that out. So let's
Yeah,
see.
thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, Uncle Mo says, "Wow, this is that. It really is. It really is. It's I've gained so much from this talk. I do not regret being here, not even one bit. This has been so informative for me. Wow. Um yeah, I see no other questions. So I guess we can bring this event to a close. So thank you everyone for joining today. Thank you so much once again, Miss Dunson, for speaking and giving us your
Thank you.
nuggets or your large boulders of wisdom, because this is a lot. And thank you, GDSC Unilag, for hosting all of this, for getting all of this prepared. We really appreciate. So yeah, thank you all for attending. It was great meeting you all, and have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.